Hello and welcome. Right now we will be unpacking this wind turbine, so let's do this. Okay, so what do we have here? So first of all, how much did it cost? I will add you somewhere a screenshot or maybe a short video from my internal cabinet on AliExpress, and you will see that the payment price was somewhere around 208, 209. I just don't remember how much exactly. And well, I still have to receive some cash back, so in the end, my end price will be 198, maybe some cents. But yeah, what we have here? We have here like the not really good shape of this instruction how to get it done, the installation guide, so to say, in Chinese and in English. That's for those who are freshers to understand how exactly this has to be gathered. What do we have here next? Okay, let me remove this. Let's see how is it packed. Oh, you see, they have some Allen bolts, which is nice because you need to have some instrument, and if you don't, well, you have them inside. Okay. The wind turbine itself, already with the hub, I see, right? Cables are pretty thin. However, please be advised that they, in general, for this kind of wind turbines, they use not only copper, this is the tinned copper. And that's very different in terms of bearing the heat resistance and in terms of bearing the current. So you should not judge only by the thickness of the cable here. So now the tail. As I've already been mentioning you, this tail length is way too short. Eventually, what I will have to do, I will have to make this longer, of course, because it is not going to be absolutely great. And to see if it's actually bent or not, well, it seems to me that it doesn't have any perfect shape. I think it's a little bit damaged here. Yeah, looks like. Probably because it was hitting the blades, I don't know. But this should be flat. This should be flat. So I will have to use the hammer and to apply some paint to restore it actually. Because yeah, you see, it is not flat. It is bent. It is clearly visible from this side, right? It should be flat. Like it is flat here on this end, it should be flat here. So it's a factory mistake actually. Yep, that's the problem. What about this thing? On this side it is absolutely okay. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, it says M3 48 volt. Looks good. Looks absolutely fine. What do we have here? We have, this is the mounting plate to connect to join the blades. Looks fine to me. We have the hub itself. Now compare the hub thickness, you see? That's my small finger, little finger. And you see the thickness. It's 1 centimeter thick, I think. Maybe even 11 millimeters. We have the nut. And the nut, here is the difference. And the nut itself has got a place where you can mount a cone. So that's what is different with it. And well, the hub, I can dismantle it. So you will see that basically what I'm going to show you is the back side of it, right? and that the bearing is sealed. The bearing is absolutely fine, absolutely okay. But the interesting thing is that I want to show you that it has the fully changeable components with the S3 wind turbine. So for example, let me take this default hub from the S3 wind turbine. And first of all, we have this nut. Let's put it to try. Yeah, it fits perfectly. You see? And so I will be able to technically mount this hub. It does fit perfectly. It does not have any contact with anything that it shouldn't have contact with. So the only thing that I have to do is to apply the nut. I mean, well, it's hard to do with one hand, but you got me right that you can use this nut to mount it. So absolutely, I will be able to connect it. So for this, I'll have to generally use the Allen bolt. Yeah, right. So to put it in here specifically with this, right, and then to rotate this and to screw the knot. In this case, same applies to this default hub for the M3 wind turbine, but I will have to do it differently. I will have to put on the blades first, and then to tighten it around because it has been connected there like this. You see, they have the threads. Okay, so let's put this apart. So technically, I can apply any blades to this wind turbine that go for S3 as well. So let me put the hub here. Let me put the wind turbine apart at least somewhere a little bit. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, we have the flange. And that's interesting. That's something I was not expecting. So the flange is inside. That's good. That will help with the connection to the tower. What else do we have here? Okay. So we have this kind of bolt. Okay. What else here? Oh, and that is something that is very different from the S3 wind turbine. It has some user's manual. And this is very different because I have never ever seen this one before. Safety warning, some product description, some gaskets, some bolts, what has to be used. This is very nice because I'm surprised because this is the first time that I was able to actually see it. And this is good. It actually gives you some hints about how to work with the tower and with the accessories, how to create the connections and flanges, etc., etc. And that's and this is nice. How to connect to the inverter, what cables should be used, basic setup wirings. This is good. This is good. This is something I didn't expect. And actually, this is something that I'm happy with. And blades. The blades may sound very familiar to you because these are exactly the same that I have been using on my modified wind turbine. And let's check and see. So here are those three, and here is this new one. And let me put it on top. Yeah, exactly same size, absolutely similar. Well, that's because these are the SM3 blades, right? But these are brand new. And we have already seen that these have been working absolutely fine in very severe weather conditions. So the blades themselves are brand new. They are okay. Let me put them aside. Let's see what else is in the package. Some bolts and nuts. I hope they are enough, but in general they are enough. I have never seen that they have not been putting enough blades. And the cone. Oh, the cone is good. It's plastic. It's pure plastic, nothing specific. It's plastic, and do we have this long bolt for it? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And like this one will be mounted in this cone. So first of all, like you apply the hub, then you put on the blades put them with the cover, and then apply this. And what happens next? You mount the cone and you screw it with the long screw that we have here. Right, we do. Okay, so next step will be I will do some quick assembly and we'll show you what's the difference. Oh, no, not the assembly. Assembly is simple. Everybody has got the instruction. Everybody can do this. We will unscrew the generator and we'll check what is inside. Okay, and the most interesting part. So I unscrewed all the bolts like this. And actually we have the generator open. So here is what is inside. The stator and the coils, you can see how nicely this is all done. I mean, this is copper. The only thing that you may want to do is probably just to put the lacquer on. The lacquer that prevents these coils from overheating. That's the thing I would actually recommend to be done. But I think that it may actually even have something applied here, but not much. Okay, and well, here are the magnets, their size on the rotor. Okay, so I have the tape here, and let me measure it. Okay, how much? 24 mil. 24 millimeter is how much? Well, you can get it. About the magnet size themselves. So they are like 12? No, it's 17. It's 17 in width, right? Right. Same 24 this way, and what's this thickness? Let me show you. Thickness will be how much? 3 millimeters. Yeah, 3 millimeters thick. So that's the size of the magnets. Yeah, what we have here. So let me remind you. This is the default S3 generator. S3 is the wind turbine that looks like this, with this kind of shaped tail. It can be put down, it can be put upwards, it doesn't matter. Generally, it is supplied with these kind of blades, which are mounted on the factory hub that looks like this, right? And well, by default, it can be supplied in two different versions. My is so-called 100 watts. So here you may see the difference. So first of all, this is how thin it is. And let's measure it to be the most exact. Okay. How much? 8 millimeters only? And compare it to 24. 3 times. 3 times is the difference. And well, I mean, this doesn't mean that there will be 3 times difference in power. The power will be way more different in production, of course, because like this one, I mean, it can't produce a lot, obviously. However, it's made quite good. It has nice bearings. I mean, I will leave it as a spare part. It has some nice covers, the rubber, everything. And here is the modified gen, the upgrade gen that I bought for this small F3 wind turbine. You have seen some performance. We have seen 280 watts out of it. And it's very hard to measure because you may see the coils are bent inside. It will be hard to take it out. But I will use like this kind of principle. So just like stuck in there, and as long as it doesn't go over, and I actually put a mark already on it with a permanent marker, so you may now see that it actually is on the very, oh, come on. Where is it? Come on. Oh, okay, got it. So it's on the very edge, and now we can measure what's the thickness in this side, in this case. Oh. It's always so hard to do with one hand only. So the thickness here is slightly different. It is a little bit about 25, 26 I would say, 25, 26. I would assume that these generators are very, very similar, but I would not believe it because of only one reason, and that reason is simple. Because this one has a lot more metal, and I believe there are more coils. I will not be untying this kind of things, because eventually it is also interesting how this can be connected. But I will just tell you based on this, because I've been opening this one, and they connect the generators in this single scheme for all of those types. This is the correct and proper star connection for those who are interested, so you don't have to. And what's more interesting, they have the single coil that goes connected through everything, so only there are only 3 wires that you combine into 0, for example, and only 3 wires that go actually each one for the phase in the end. That's it. So you don't have like 2 lines of wires or 3 lines of wires, and then you have to reconnect them at some point. You cannot reconnect it literally in any case, because it's only one proper way to get them connected. That's what they do with this kind of generators. They are small, but they are able to produce. So now I have a problem. I have to decide which generator to put where. I can technically remove it from here and put it in here, or I can leave them as they are, and I don't know what to do, because like for 2 millimeters difference, I don't know if it's worth it to reconnect everything, and like that's something that I'm interested in, if that is definitely worth it. Absolutely going that deep in. Maybe I will just leave, because this one is very nicely pressed inside. It has quite a number of metal, like you may see that the stator thickness is literally as same as the rotor thickness, right? And you can see how little of it goes out of this wind turbine, and this only means that everything else is inside, and it will be pretty hard to take it out without damaging. And I don't know, probably I will leave it as it is for now. And since this is still 2 millimeters thinner than this one, I will probably apply my 5-blader hub to this wind turbine, and we'll take these default factory blades for that generator, because it actually had proven to perform very well on this modified one. I mean, forget about this one, forget about the default one. No one is going to bother with it, because it's only for spare parts and for some, like, I don't know, for some tests. But this one is going to be put in production, and I think that if I'm using this body with this generator, not to reconnect everything, I will probably have to use this kind of blades, but with the proper hub, factory hub. And yeah, maybe this. Let's give it some time to think. I don't know yet what to do. Or maybe you will suggest something, let me know. Which will fit better which? So 26 mils thickness, 24 mils thickness. Blades, I mean, I have double of them, but I have only one hub, right? So I will probably have to if I want to go with this kind of blades, I'll probably have to buy just hub additionally, and that's it. Or I might try to use this one, but now question is where to put it. Here? Or maybe the 3-blade version of it? Well, let's maybe do the test and see how it goes. Who knows? We need to wait for the towers now. And to finish it all fully, there is only one item left that was not covered in today's video. This is what the gathered and assembled hub looks like, how it looks like. So here, as you may see, this is the factory hub. And this thing, by the way, from the from the small tiny generator actually helped us to it will help us to assemble it fully, because I want to also mount the cone and see if it works perfectly. But for you to understand, like, this is the 0.81 meters blade, and the hub in the end will be 1.68 meters in diameter. What can you also do, and what you should do, how do you mount it? It's you actually mount this kind of nut. It has a hole inside for this one to get in, but eventually, I mean, seriously, couldn't they have drilled it more accurately, right? It's not centered like perfectly, but it doesn't really matter too much, because what is left to do is to mount this kind of cone and then try and find the hole. Yeah, actually it worked. So it doesn't really matter. All I'll have to do, I will just have to use the Allen bolt they provided to mount it fully and to... No, I didn't put it in. I actually didn't fit it. Oh, no, now maybe. Yes? Yes or no? I'm not sure. I mean, this is hard to do with one hand. Yeah, now I got in. But in any case, you just like screw it until there is some nice pressure. And as always, I've been giving you in the previous video the link to the blades. Like, once I was showing you the unmounted and full dismounted the S3 with the similar, not similar, but actually exactly the same blades, like this one. And I've been showing you the link to the blades where you can get them with the hub. So the option 2 of that package will actually be the blades, the hub plate, the upper plate, and the cone as well, together with the nut and with this bolt actually to get it screwed together. So I mean, for $100 approximately, plus or minus, it depends on codes, it depends on some kind of promotions that they run. This is, I think, quite a good price for this kind of unit. It's relatively cheap, but it's relatively sturdy enough to for your DIY project, and it's built pretty nicely, you know. I mean, it's plastic, but it's something that you cannot do on your own. So yeah, right now this is going to be it. Yeah, and like and subscribe if you want to see some more.